Welcome to the Political Matrix News. Politics, people, local, regional, national news. Political Matrix News keeps you informed. We have the sources, we have the truth from inside the Political Matrix.
Welcome to another edition of the Political Matrix podcast. This is Mike Bates with the Mike Bates Show. I'm in Pensacola, Florida. Greg Fink is with us from Gainesville, Florida. Charles Barfield from Orlando, Florida. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
All right, so Donald Trump has clinched numerically the Republican nomination. Joe Biden has clinched numerically the Democrat nomination. So we believe it's going to be a rematch of 2020. But looking beyond that, what do you think the future of the two parties are? Because whichever candidate wins, they're lame duck the moment they're inaugurated. Where do we go from here? Greg, you want to start?
I pretty much think hopefully the MAGA party will go away, in my opinion. I do think, I do believe in conservative values and conservative principles. I do believe with the policies of the party. However, their mannerism and in which they, are willing to overthrow anything or even talk about overthrowing governments and overthrowing local and state governments and federal governments to go ahead and achieve their goal is just a little bit weird and scary. I was watching these interviews with, these people at MAGA rallies, and they really are, about January 6th, and they don't think they did enough. And they want to go one step forward. I'm not saying this is that way for all Donald Trump supporters. There's a lot of regular, normal Republicans who like Donald Trump. But the people who are the hardcore MAGA people, they scare me. And they should scare a lot of people in the Republican Party because it's supposed to be a party based on logic and brain power, not emotions and basically, terrorizing the hell out of the other people.
All right, but you can't paint the entire party, the entire Republican Party with a MAGA brush any more than you can paint the entire Democrat Party as crazy radicals that want to literally outlaw being a Republican. I mean, when Donald Trump lost in the 2020 election, he was canceled and people were arrested and their bank accounts were closed just by virtue of being associated with the guy. They wanted to literally outlaw being a Republican. So you can't paint with a broad brush. Let's talk reason here.
Right.
The entire party, and I agree with you. I think MAGA does not have a future with or without Trump if they want to get elected. Okay. So I think MAGA is going to have to moderate some.
Exactly.
But they can't go back to the liberal Republican Party.
Oh, no, I don't see that.
Okay. All right. But the Democrats, frankly, they're going crazy left. And so they've got to moderate too. Charles, what do you think?
Well, I think that in terms of the Democratic Party, that you have a total, the Democrat Party fundamentally, regardless of how you think philosophically, but they physically look like the spectrum of people associated with America, the diversity aspect of it. So, and to that extent, it's wide open because you have these old 80-something-year-old guys who've been dominating both parties for the last couple of cycles now. And then there's no really person on deck, I think, that's a superstar ready to go. So I don't know how this is going to play with the Democratic Party because the Democratic Party is not, they're forever transiting in terms of what they believe in. They're not consistent as what they stand on. Except for in my disagreement with them is the gay issues. It seems like they're consistent on that. Other than that, you don't really know what it is to be a Democrat, like in the 80s or the 70s or even before that. Now you just, you just don't really know. So I think it's going to be kind of fascinating that to be wide open. As it relates to the GOP, I don't think that, and I disagree with you, Mike and Greg, on this point. MAGA is here. They're not going anywhere, in my belief system, because the real traditional GOP allowed them to take over the party, and so therefore they drowned it out and they kicked out everything. Like right now, you got Trump with his in-laws running the GOP now, and the problem with that is that the GOP is not going to be able to fund reasonable candidates because all the money is going to go to Trump, and that's going to affect lower ballots and things of that nature. And so this is it. This is a real big election. I do believe that they would have a shot if, in fact, they would show some level of resistance. But from McConnell, all the people who know better, they allowed Magna to take over. William Buckley was I thought was a legitimate conservative. But if he was around, I don't think that Magnum would expand it like they did. But the reason with GOP just allowed the Magna people with that vilified racist bent is just to take over, and I think that may have been. I don't know if they can come back from that. Honestly, I just don't know.
All right. Well, MAGA is not racism. Okay, let's stop playing the race card.
I say the Magna bent. I said they do have a Magna bent. I deal with these people. I go to these gun shows and things. I talk with these people. I'm in places they go, so I know how they think.
Good. Talk sometime to Larry Elder. He'll give you some information on how
I
black
don't like
people.
Him. I don't respect him.
I love Larry Elder.
I have no interest in talking with someone like Larry Elder. I already talked with a rock.
What are you, some kind of racist? You don't like black men?
No, that's not racist. I don't like ignorant people.
All right.
That's proud to be ignorant.
All right. But typically the left, anytime you disagree with a black man, they just say, oh, well, you're racist. But and for me, I couldn't care less what somebody's race is. I think that a person's race, I cannot think of a single human characteristic that is of less importance than race. And yet people obsess about it these days. But getting back to MAGA and the future of MAGA, people thought that the Tea Party was going to be a permanent takeover as well. And it fizzled and burned. So just because MAGA is popular now doesn't mean MAGA is going to remain popular. And the problem that I see, not just with Donald Trump, but with other MAGA candidates, is they can't win elections. So if the Republican Party plans to win elections and somehow retain power in the future, they've got to moderate their stances. And look, I'm no moderate, okay? But you got to present it in a reasonable manner. And the reality is, from my vantage point, the MAGA movement doesn't. They come across, rightly or wrongly, as crazy.
And as far as the Democratic Party goes, the future of the Democrats, in my opinion, they've got to figure out a way to get off the ledge. I mean, they are so far on the ledge as a national party to where, it's basically, there's no reason why they should let the transgender movement and the lifestyle movement control the entire party. I agree. There's transgender people. I know transgender people. I don't hate them. I know a lot of gay people. I don't hate them. But the thing is, there should be no reason less than 3% of our population should be controlling the narrative of the entire party. The Democrat Party has historically been a party of the people, because the Republican Party was a party of the people. They both work together. And they're letting the extremes control everything, and both parties are doing it, and they need to bring that back in, and find a way to stop that. I know it sounds naive and idiotic for me to say it so and to oversimplify it so easily, but that's really what's going to have to happen.
All right. Well, what controls us is the clock, and the clock says we got to go. So this is Mike Bates, Greg Fink, Charles Barfield. Thanks so much for joining us on another edition of Political Matrix News.
All right.